Right. Y'all heard that. Recording in progress.
Recording in progress.
I,
Hey.
like I said, she made it this time, y'all. Y'all tune in. Let me put it so I can see the comments. Sis, what's going on?
Oh man. Just kind of winding down right now. A lot's been going on.
I was
How you
wondering if
been
you
doing?
I was wondering if you ever wind down because you always doing something. So man, I cannot wait to dig deep and so people that I don't know who don't know you, but people that don't know you, they will know you tonight and stuff. So now I just want to say I appreciate you taking the time, to come and do this interview. And I know you've interviewed me, but this is really special to me interviewing you and
Thank
stuff because
you.
I just really look up to you and stuff.
Thank
And I
you.
admire everything that you do and everything. And yeah, this hats off to you. So, but
Yes, but you paved the way, girl. You paved the way, you know?
I I tried. So,
Yes,
um,
yes, yes.
so
I'm
I'm gonna start off
I
like
gotta
I
put my
normally do.
phone on.
You got it?
Hold on, I gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I believe. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, Nikki, what was Nikki like in elementary school?
Elementary school, just I was a fun person. I was a fun person in elementary school. I had a few friends, but was kind of a loner. You know what
Okay.
I mean? I loved talent shows then because back then we did uh who got the cars? The cars that go boom.
Oh, the JJ fan?
Yeah, and then we did It's My Prerogative. So
Okay.
yeah, I was always into doing, like some type of show or something like that. So that's probably why I'm doing that now too.
Okay. So even wait a minute, in elementary school?
In elementary school, was it like a junior high? I think it was junior high, sixth grade. I was in sixth grade.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in sixth grade. Yeah, I was in sixth grade because I remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Now,
was in sixth grade.
okay.
And
So
we
you
was in
got
West Texas.
wow, junior. Okay, so junior high, were you still like, I mean, it's different now. Okay, was your sixth grade junior high? Because they changed it. They did all that changing.
So it was when I was out in West Sacramento, but
Mm.
then when I came to South Sacramento when my mother was murdered, I came to stay in South Sacramento, and I was in the sixth grade, and I was in elementary school. I was at Elder Creek, so
Oh,
I wasn't in junior high. But when I was out in West Sac, the sixth grade was with the seventh and eighth graders.
okay, okay. Now, what about high
Hmm.
school? What was Nikki like in high school?
Oh man, in high school, well, I started off in junior high. In junior high, I played basketball.
Oh, what?
You know, I tried to be a tomboy basically because once again, after my mother passed, I came over and stayed with my father's side of the family, which was South Sacramento in the flats. So it was just kind of like I was a skinny little tall girl that was either gonna get punked or stand up for myself
Mm,
because I wasn't really over there like that. So I
mhm.
was at Wilsey Wood, and then it was just turning into like a little tomboy just to not get punked.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 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 definitely feeling that.
So, so we went through elementary, junior high, and high school, right? So after high school, when did you start it?
High school, we didn't really touch high school. You did ask about high school, but high school, I played a little basketball, but then I did get pregnant.
Okay.
And that's my son. My son is 32 years old, about to be 33. And so I was at Hiram Johnson for a little bit until I got over to American Legion, where once I had my son, I was able to take him to school with me, and I was there with Mouthpiece. We
Oh,
both had our kids there. Yep. I used to take her home from school. We used to ride together. I had a car then.
I love
So,
puppies.
and I was working and I was going to that school to over there at American Legion.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was high school. I was Hiram Johnson, then to American Legion.
Okay. And did you go to college or anything or?
I took a little bit of college. I tried to take a real estate course. I
Okay.
did not finish that. I got into cosmetology, and then I just ended up working for the state of California. I ended up working for DMV through a like a MTOD program. So I worked there for a while, and that's where I grew up at because my mom worked for DMV. She was a lead typist there.
Okay.
So when I had the opportunity to go back into that building because there was a school in that building that I attended in preschool and kindergarten was inside of the DMV because she worked at headquarters. So I remember running through that building all the time. So when I had the opportunity to go back and work there through MTOP program was like a temporary work program, but everybody that stayed did get on permanent.
Mm-hmm.
When my 9 months was up, I didn't never go back. I went to E Trade. I worked for E Trade. Then I worked for I worked for Business Health Services, and then I worked for E Trade, and then after that, I went to Santa Rosa and got into the mortgage field, just signing up for what do you call it, a temporary uh,
Mm-hmm.
job, and then that's what led me into the mortgage field. So I worked mortgage for almost 20 years. I worked mortgage for a good 15, 16 years. I've did mortgage, so I did mortgage. I moved to Santa Rosa. I got married. Um, and then I had my second child, which is my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So once I got into mortgage, I just stayed in the mortgage for a long time.
Now, what
Yeah.
took you to Santa Rosa?
Well, my daughter's dad, which was my husband at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're divorced. But his father, his brother, they were all out in Santa Rosa. So we decided to make a change and we went to Santa Rosa. And then we stayed out there helping with his brother because his brother was in a bad car accident. He was a quadriplegic. So we used to help with him. And then I just went job searching.
Oh,
And
okay.
then that's how I got
Okay.
on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think right around that time was when Aaliyah died.
Mm,
Yeah, I remember being out there when Aaliyah died.
wow.
Santa
Now,
Rosa.
what interested you in loans, doing mortgages?
Well, it was just a job that was offered to me when you go to the temp agencies.
Okay.
They see what you're fit in. They make you take all those tests, any type of office work and stuff like that. So it was just a job that was offered to me,
Okay.
and then I just stayed with it. I worked in the closing department. I was a funder. Um, I did pre underwriting,
Wow.
and then I went into title companies where I was a title escrow
Mm-hmm.
escrow officer. I was an assistant escrow officer,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did title searches, type title commitments,
Mm-hmm.
um, clear title,
Mm-hmm.
all of the things that you need to do to close the loan. So from there, I went and ran a title company when we then moved to Kansas City. So we went to Kansas City for a while.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
My friend, she's from here, but she's in Kansas, and she just posted, I'm ready. I miss Kelly. I'm ready to come back. At first, she was like, I'm not coming back. Now she's ready to come
I
back.
didn't think I was coming back neither, but I do tell people don't be afraid to go because you can always come back. You can travel the world and venture the world if you want to go see, because you can come back and don't be embarrassed about coming back. If you
Right.
coming back, you coming back. So yeah, we went out there because my husband was a truck driver, so
Mm.
he was always on the road. And
Mm.
then his brother and his wife moved out there. And my friend Jamaica from high school and junior high school, she was from out there. That's what basically started everything was Jamaica from everybody going out there quiet as kept. Everybody that know. But so then we ended up out there and we bought property. It was easy to buy property
Yeah.
in Kansas City. But what the where the problem lied with that is that we were like a kid in a candy store. Them prices was just so cheap to us. We didn't even realize we was upside down when we started.
Mm.
Okay. Because we did not know that they were doing wrongful things out there in Kansas City. That's when all that was going on. And two, everybody knew underwriters and all them knew each other. So they was pushing loans through.
Mm.
And we was one that got all excited because we got approved. California wasn't messing with us like that, but when we got to Kansas City, we got approved for 3 homes. We got our first home. Yep, and we paid like 97,000 for three. It was almost a 4-story home with
Wow.
the basement. It was like Bill. I called it my Bill Cosby home, but because that's what we used to stay up late and watch the Cosbys or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was just like, man, we get all this for 97.5. Girl, that house was not worth 97.5. It was not in a neighborhood that was worth 97.5, but we thought it was. We didn't do no research. We were so happy that we got approved and then got approved for the next one because they was dumping houses on us. And me, I was so eager to get into the house game and buy homes and staying up late watching those late night infomercials about buying homes and selling them and getting into that. So I was always into that. So when we had the opportunity to buy something in Kansas, I just jumped on, but it was not good. We lost them homes.
Wow. So what advice do you give people that buying out of state, the places they don't know? Like, well, what advice do you give them?
Well, I just give advice on if you buy anywhere, just do your research on what they selling it for. I don't know really because I feel like then just don't be so thirsty to get stuff. I guess that's the advice. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because when we're so eager to have the things that we feel like we deserve
Mhm.
and we just so eager, sometimes we get caught up in people doing wrong to us. And what do you call it? You end up being gullible a little bit and doing, because I was just so like a kid in a candy store. That was the best way that I could say it. You just laid some candy out there to me and I just grabbed it. For real, can I check and see if the candy is rotten first?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So you
Yeah.
suggest people to fly out there also to see where the property is located, right? And check out, do research on the neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah, we did that too. Yeah, we had a bad tenant in one, and we thought we had a good tenant because she has Section A. She was an older lady. She was an older lady that had her grandkids.
Mhm.
But you know what? They was not too fond of us Californians coming from somewhere young,
Mm.
thinking we about to be buying up something.
Oh,
Man, they like you little young thing coming buying the house, and now I got to talk to you about. That's how I got treated.
oh man, that's crazy. So you
You
came
little
back,
California.
yeah, so you came back to California. Um, and when did you start? I know you told me the story about how you started Nikki's Dollar. So when did that come about?
Okay, well, that came about. I was working in the mortgage company. I came back to California, got on first with Walmart. Thanks, Walmart.
Uh,
But I then left Walmart and went back to the mortgage company, and I um, just start saying that I want to sell jewelry. I want to visit. I used to buy a lot of jewelry at the flea market, a dollar jewelry at the flea market. Every time I go to work or whatever, I'm matching all my jewelry together. Everybody like, where you get it from? I'm like, it's a dollar at the flea market. Go to the flea market. You know what I mean? They not going to the flea market. There's always asking where I get it from. So then I went to visit my god sister Danella. Shout out Nelly. Went and visit her down in Texas. She moved out there and she took me to this dollar jewelry store and it was all color coordinated and this and this and that. So I was like, man, I'm gonna come back and order my jewelry and remind you when I was in Kansas City, there was a lot of black people in Kansas City. It's not like we think. It's a lot of black people in
yeah.
Kansas City. They nice. They out there selling on the corners. The men especially had their little booth set up on the corner way back before we started doing it. They selling shoes, t-shirts. They got all their stuff set up. So I feel like that's where I had got that mind frame from to
Mm,
come back to California, then start seeing what type of deal I can get on jewelry,
mm.
and start ordering jewelry. I start selling to my coworkers, and then I just start taking it out to the streets of Sacramento, just setting up in the back of my trunk, lifting the trunk up, pulling an umbrella out with my dollar sign, and just hitting up the corners of Sacramento like that, and kind of getting bigger on the streets, getting pegboards, getting tables, getting bigger signs, getting jewelry displays, just getting purses now, shoes, sunglasses. Now I'm on the corner with it all. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and unfortunately, which is fortunate, but you learn certain things from not so good situations. But just knowing the game of people out there selling selling drugs, selling their body, selling things like that, I found something else to sell.
yeah,
We
yeah,
can go on the wrong path when we go through depression, anxiety, and things like that. And you think that but if you got the hustle to do all those other things, you still got the hustle,
yeah,
because that's, I just chose something else to take to the corner. You
right.
know what I mean? I didn't, but I did it the same way. I went and got my jewelry, which is a double up. I'm
Mm,
sorry, I'm gonna speak real.
yeah,
And then I took it back to the corner and I sold it. And then I went to all different corners of Sacramento. So
yeah,
now everybody knows me. And then I'm taking people's contact information, letting them know where I'm gonna be at when I move somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I kind of just made a name for myself like that, advertised that I did jewelry parties, go set up at bars, churches, birthday parties, backyard events. So I was doing stuff like that before I got my storefront.
and that was before. So was there like Facebook, social media, or anything? I mean, when you first started.
One of my younger cousins, shout out Kanae, she used to help me so much, but she the one that got me hipped on, I need to get a Facebook. I'm like, I don't need to get all that. You know what I mean? So I remember when I didn't know about that. You know
Mm-hmm,
what I mean? So I feel like I was like back in the days when you call guerrilla marketing.
mm-hmm,
That's what I was basically doing. I was hitting the pavement. I was advertising myself. I need to get back to that too, because just because a lot of people know you, it's always somebody that don't know you. It's
right.
always a whole bunch of people that don't know who you are. You
Mm-hmm,
know what I mean? So if you stay advertising yourself
mm-hmm.
and keep pushing
Yeah,
after your vision,
exactly.
then you can be able to accomplish some things. So I just kept pushing, and I just kept calling people. Now I had a
Mhm,
book, I had a little template, and I'd be like, you want to sign my form, so my contact form, so I can keep you posted on what corner I'm gonna be at.
mhm.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And they would come because it was like a yard sale, so they would buy. They
yeah.
would buy. I would leave there like I made some money, like I was a real drug dealer, but I
Wow.
was selling dollar jewelry.
So did you
You know,
have the purses too and stuff, or just the
I
jewelry?
had purses. I didn't have shoes. I would carry shoes when I went to jewelry parties in people's homes and stuff like that.
Mhm,
But I would try to just do the jewelry. The feathered earrings worked so great for me. I would have a stand with all these feathers flying everywhere, and people would just come. But sometimes my stands would fall, and it felt like hundreds of dollars falling and breaking on the ground.
right, right,
So I
right.
went through a lot of that, setting up by myself. If I got to use a bathroom, where I'm gonna go. You know
Mhm,
what I mean? So I
yeah,
try to coordinate how long I'm gonna be out somewhere and
mhm,
stuff like that. Roy's Market in Oak Park, shout out to Roy's Market. They always let me sign up, set up, not sign up, set up out there
mhm,
all the time. And I've been on several courses. I was on 21st and Amherst. That's where I met the King family, Mr. King and his wife. They would always come up there and sell. Shout out to my sister Savanya. She used to let me set up in front of her house all the time. I would take it to the Heights. I would take it to Rancho.
mhm,
I would take it to just everywhere. And that's just. And then I would go to bars, meet people.
mhm.
You know, Sometimes it would be hard because I do deal with anxiety, so I didn't pulled up at a lot of bars and places and not got out. Now, I might seem so fun and interacting and all that, like, but sometimes I cannot get out the car. You know what I mean? It's just what you deal with sometimes. But if I just force myself and not think about it, I'll be like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go,
Mhm.
let's kick it.
Yeah.
Then I'm gone. I'm like, okay. But if I sit there too long and think about it, I'm like, gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But it's cool. I'm glad I pushed myself out there without even realizing that's what I needed to do. I just started doing it. But you got to, if you got any type of business, you got to push your business.
Hmm. Yeah, it most
Mhm.
definitely. That's why you see me out with my shirts and I'm always,
You always somewhere,
now,
girl, supporting us, supporting. Shoot.
yeah, I got my, want to buy a house, I always tell agents, because I'm a coach too. I was like,
Hmm.
forget wearing the company shirts. Wear shirts with big letters that says want to buy a house or I'm a realtor, something that's
Yeah, stuff like that.
you know,
Yeah.
people don't care about Keller Williams, Remus. They
Okay.
don't know what it is. They
Yeah,
know
they don't know. They just see it and say, "Oh, she worked for," but you're not giving them something. Like if you say you want to buy a house, you're
you
like making a person think.
you're a walking billboard. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tell people if you're shy, get those shirts, and stuff because I
Yeah, so
was
the
in a
shirts, we were just saying that it's a lot of messages you can put on shirts.
yeah, I was in a
That's
store
your
and
own business,
I
which
had
I can help
yeah,
you brand yourself.
yeah, exactly. I had a shirt that says, I'm a real estate agent, asked me for my card. I forgot I had it on, and this guy walked past me. He backed up. He said, "Can I have your card?" I go, "What?" I forgot I had the shirt on.
Ready to get all pumped up. Like, what you mean?
I was like, oh, so yeah, most definitely. So when did you decide to get a storefront?
um, I was still in the mortgage business and things kind of got I guess they were doing some closing down of some departments, and they got rid of the department that I was running. I was running the funding department and the closing department, and
Mhm,
so they closed that department. And I said, you know what? I was able to get unemployment for a while, and
mhm,
so after that, I just started buying the jewelry online. I would see the jewelry, buy the jewelry online,
mhm,
and so after that, after the unemployment ran out, I just went towards selling my jewelry, going out to the corners, selling my jewelry, and then I decided to let me open up a storefront. And I went and I talked to a few people, which shout out to Steve Perkins. So I ended up talking to who I went to school with back in the days, and he ended up leading me to his auntie's. Told me to go visit his mom's house. They were having a party, and I can go sell my jewelry over there because I would sell jewelry. So I went to go sell my jewelry at his mom's house, and I met his aunt Brenda, and she had a store or like a salon type of place on Broadway, but
mhm.
she had a little place in the front that she rented to me for only $350. I couldn't pass that up. So
Mhm.
I was able to get in that store and then charge me the same in deposit. So I was able, but rebuying y'all, that's not today. That was 15 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
But 15 years ago, and it was a little area, and let me tell you where that is now. That is the Oak Park Brewery. So
Oh,
where they have the little kegs where you see the beer in the window,
yeah.
that was my store.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That little three wall,
Wow.
it's three walls. It was a triangle. So
Wow.
that was my store, and I got in there. It was hard to stay in there at first because a lot of people see me on the corners, and it
Mhm.
was slow in the store, and I was anxious, and I loved making my money on the corner, so I would close up a lot just to go back to the corner. But
Yeah.
people would be like, I came to your store, you wasn't open, and I'm like, okay, peace be still. Let me stay at this store, and
Mhm.
then eventually people start catching on and coming.
Okay.
So I
So,
was there for about a year, and then moved over to Florence Square. So I've been at Florence Square for 13 years. So I was on Broadway for a year. I was in my car for a year on corners around Sacramento. And then I was on Broadway for a year. And
mhm.
then I was at Florence Square for 13 years.
Wow.
So that's 15 years in business.
What made you move to Florence Square? The location?
It was getting slow. It was hard for people to stop on Broadway and see me, and not a lot of parking.
Hmm.
It wasn't a lot of, sometimes I would go out there with my sign just to be my own sign holder. And then when I see people park, go run in and go to be ready for them to come in,
Oh.
just doing a lot of advertising just to get people to stop. But I'm glad that I did make the choice to look in at what was it? One of those sites where you can find rental properties, and I was looking for retail properties and found Mr. Donaldson's. It was not called Florence Square at the time. It was not called African Marketplace. It's just called Donaldson's Properties.
Mm.
And so I seen that, and I just said, let me go check it out. Luckily, I did, because the man that owned the building that I was at, which he was black owned, he sold it because that's when they start redoing the Broadway
Oh,
area, and they was trying to get everybody to sell. So
yeah,
you see, they sold it. You see, old Barbieri's there now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, that's true.
you know what I mean. So and so I moved right on time, did not even knowing.
Okay.
But that Florence Square, Mr. Donaldson's property, did sold me. As soon as I got in there and seen all them paintings on the wall down that hallway with all our people, and just I was like, this where I need to be. This where I need to be.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, and I was only paying $350 at the time with Mr. Donaldson too.
Were you always in a location yet? Were you inside?
No, I was never inside. So I was my first area was over there by Tanner Shanner. So
Okay.
I was in the same building, but my store was facing Tanner Shanner.
Mm.
And so I was right there. That was where I was paying my $350. It wasn't too big, but it was enough to hang a bunch of jewelry, and y'all came in and supported me. So I appreciate y'all. And then there was a little office right next door that nobody would rent out because it didn't have really a window. It was just like indoors. Nobody really rented it out, but it was right next door to mine. So I'm like, Mr. Donaldson, can I rent this place and make a hole in the wall so I can do hair over there? Because I wasn't doing my hair, which I've always done hair. I get it from my dad.
Mm.
He braids your name in your hair. So I've always done hair, but I started with my store. So when Mr. Donaldson was like, yeah, I'll give you that office for $150, I said, run that. Give me that office and cut open this door 400. Make my rent go up to 5, and I'm gonna make that right back. You know
Wow.
what I mean? So that's where my rent went from 350 to 5. He went from 350, charged me 150 for the other room. Now I put a sink in the other room, which I couldn't have a sink, so I had to not use it for washing hair. I can have a sink,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't wash hair. So
Mm.
that's what I realized. But I was able to keep my sink. But I had my sink in there, and I had my chair, and I had a couple chairs. I had another braider in there, so it was a good little 150 a month.
Yeah.
I can do a head.
Nice. That was awesome. Now,
Yeah.
you're one of the, are you, how do I say this? You're the one of the originals there to this day, correct?
Yes, that's what they called me. That's what they say. So there is people that was there before me. I believe Miss Shona was there before me.
Mm.
But I think there was another lady that kind of had like selling things a long, long time ago when they called it the incubator or something like that.
Mm.
But after that, it turned into pretty much offices.
Mm.
There was a continuation school over there. I think it was organized. It was one of them that was over there back in the days in that building. There was a store over there, Big G's, something like that. But it was a lot of different things. And then there was people just doing office, renting out offices to
Mm.
do taxes,
Mm.
to do whatever they felt like their business needed an office.
Yeah.
So I do feel like once I started doing the storefront over there
Mm.
and showing that I'm a young African American female
Mm.
alone because I have separated by then.
Yeah.
It was just me and my daughter, but she still had her dad in her life. We were still very much all together and family.
Mm.
But they just seeing that I'm just doing this by myself, it makes it seem so real,
Mm.
when sometimes we can think that things is harder than what we really think that it is. So when you see someone doing these things, because what I look around, I see names and different names on buildings all over the world. Them people are human just like us.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Every person that started these business that you see on these buildings is human beings just like us.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have a vision for your life and you go after it and start taking the necessary steps to achieve them,
Hmm.
then you can start doing some things to make things better for yourself. So I didn't really realize that because I did back in the days, like I want to always have a hair salon. And then I
Yeah.
didn't really ask for it, but he was like, here's your jewelry store. Matter of fact, here's your hair salon. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Man,
Thank you.
man, that is awesome. Wow.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, let me tell you, I really try not to go in her store because I always spend.
Hey, but it's look your best for less at Nikki's Dollar Jewelry.
But I cannot be in that area or in that building without going to see her, period. You know,
I
I'll just walk out
appreciate
with a
it.
purse and or something, a hat.
Yes, I appreciate you over the years.
Something, try to support. Even when I see her other places at events and stuff where she set up, I always try to support and everything. So most definitely. So man, you got a great story, man. You done been shoot, Santa Rosa, Kansas, and home mortgage lender, worked at Walmart and all kinds of stuff, right? It's like so now Nikki's Dollar, you're all set up and you do so much inside that little store, right? You really do.
Mhm,
What
mhm.
made you start a podcast?
My business partner, which a close friend from the neighborhood when we were growing up, Bilal Rashid, he reached out to me. He kind of was following me on Instagram and things like that. And I always was promoting people's business and doing things of that nature behind the camera or whatever, pulling out my cell phone, whatever. And so he's like, I need somebody to help me run this podcast studio that I have down here in Stockton. And
Mhm.
so he reached out to me, and I was going back and forth because I did move for a little while down to Modesto. And so, as my drive from Sacramento to Modesto, I'm passing through Stockton. So I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I can stop through Stockton and see and all that. So I went in, and his brother Billboard Bear, which he gonna be out performing in my event on October 12th. He showed me a lot of the podcast things, and Bilal trained me over the phone, like extreme patient for to be able to train me how to engineer my own show and really start interviewing people the correct way.
Wow.
getting
Okay.
people getting people out there on the media. So yeah, he taught me a lot. That's where I learned it from, and then went on to using it as far as still promoting businesses, getting sponsors that would like me to advertise their business on my platform, and then interviewing artists.
Hmm.
Interviewing artists. We started that when we started doing rap shows, ciphers, battles. We start bringing the artists in and start interviewing the artists. So it was good for that too.
Okay.
Something that you were already doing, walking around with big old cameras and stuff like that. We didn't have none of this back then. You was really out there in the pay. You was really out there.
I know, really, really was.
Yeah.
Cameras, back then,
Yeah, a team with you.
recorders,
Yeah.
recorders, I had to carry the lights, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And getting yourself
Yeah,
known, and people knowing you, you know what I mean? You stayed supporting, you stayed out there,
yeah.
you were genuine. That's how it works.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just amazing how I did all that without the social media. And people still, people tuned in. I can't believe how many people used to stay home
Man,
late nights to
the
watch
most
that in
famous did
Sacramento.
not have social media. Let me tell you, the most famous did not have social media.
Who
And
did
they did
not?
not get famous from social media. I don't know
Mm-mm.
how people heard about people, but they sure heard about them. We didn't have social media.
Yeah, it was first it was with me being on like I said, Sunday nights at 11, but before me it was what, the box, you know?
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
people used to pay money, to watch
Yep,
videos.
to watch it, to watch a video.
Yeah, that was
Man,
great. I
you
think
bringing back
about it now.
memories.
You know, it's just like, man, that's
We
crazy.
had to pay on the box.
Oh man, how much money we spent? Just like
We
somebody
be like,
to
oh,
request a video, that's just like
yes,
insane.
yes, I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
but we did it. So,
Yes, yes, we did. Times
yeah,
have changed.
man. So
These
what I really
spoiled
like,
brats right now.
huh?
I said these little spoiled brats right now got all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, people, all they gotta do is pick up a phone now and record, or like you sit down, set up and stuff, and people come to you and everything. Now, even though at Access, but I still had to carry the camera stuff outside, but
Okay.
I used to tell people meet me at the TV station. We'll be
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
recording and stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
it was, yeah. But I loved it. Was the best time of my life and made a lot of good friends. And that's the thing about this, what we do, you know,
Mhm.
we meet good people,
Yeah, you
and
meet good
stuff.
people, and then you end up finding out really about the person. You like, wow, like I interviewed a young man last week. Shout out to Hustle Man Benjamin, and from his music and the way that you see him, you would just assume that's all there was about him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was rap and gangs and all this type of stuff, and it really wasn't. He
Mm-hmm.
was able to really express who he was as a man, a father, a human being, a
Mm-hmm.
citizen of the community, the things that he went to college for, you know what I mean? Just the things I said, what was the most thing you would want to do that you have not did yet that would, he said, go to Texas and meet my family. I never met my family.
Mm-hmm.
See, nobody would give people the opportunity to talk about some real things
Right.
that's going on. You know what I mean? That these
Right.
people are human beings and they got things that's going on that's meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So I like being able to get that other part out that people don't know.
Yeah, and that's why I ask the questions that I ask on here so people can really, really get to know people, and
Mm,
stuff,
mm,
and learn
mm,
what they was like, how they got started, and stuff like
mm,
that,
mm, mm.
but going back to, us, meeting people. I'm trying to remember how me and you met. I don't
Man, I think through Big Ol' Measy, I met a lot of people through Big Ol' Measy. Shout
I
out
met
Big
you
Ol'
before
Measy.
that.
Did you meet me before Big Ol' Measy? I felt
Yeah.
like you started coming to my events when Big Ol' Measy was hosting for me.
Maybe I did for that, but I think I was going to your shop before then. Maybe I was just in
Mm,
the area or something. And
yeah,
then,
maybe so.
but shout
Maybe
out to
so.
our brother, Big Old B. Hey,
Yes, yes. Shout out to everybody.
man,
Yeah.
gotta love that big old teddy bear. Always looking
Yeah, he
big.
supported me for many years. I'm trying to get him to pop up October 12th. Yeah, I'm trying to get a few surprise guests to pop up on me October 12th. But
Okay.
I got some good people in the house for my 15th anniversary.
Now, how did you, speaking of Big Old Meezy and stuff, how did you have a great co-host now?
Yes, I have Fats. Fats is in the
Shout
house.
out
I
to
met him
Fats.
from Big Old Measy.
I'm still waiting for you to call me Fats. I'm still waiting for that interview. I'm mad at you. Go ahead.
Fats be busy, man. He out on the road now.
Yeah.
He
But
don't come to all the interviews because he be busy too. So I'll be lucky to have him when he do be there.
yeah, he's a cool guy. I think I met him first. Was it with you? I think. And then we just started seeing each other everywhere. We might have saw each other in the past everywhere, just didn't really realize it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I
You know?
met him first with Big Ol' Measy. I had Sackway Media. Me and my cousin, we was doing Sackway Media. They came into the studio. Measy introduced me to Fats. They was doing some things together, and from there, I knew Fats, but still wasn't that close to him. I think Fats ended up, Omizi moved out of Sacramento.
Mhm.
And so Fats was still doing his thing with managing
Mhm.
people, and he remembered me. So he reached out to me and asked me to interview Cocaine.
Mhm.
Shout out Cocaine. So I interviewed Cocaine. Um, um, the most featured artist in the world is Cocaine, y'all. If y'all didn't know, look him up. So I interviewed Cocaine and Fats. I just automatically set him a chair next to me. I'm like, I'm not doing this interview by myself. This your artist, and we about to do this interview together.
Mhm.
So he was like, okay, I'm coming in. So we vibed real good after that interview. And I was just like, hey, Fats, you got to come back and help me interview. And he was like, my pleasure. He said, I don't do a lot for a lot of people, but I'll definitely come back for you. And he been bringing some good
Yes, yeah.
people to the table. I've been introducing him to some good artists. I introduced him to Charity. After we did the interview with Charity, his artist Millie, which is Mystical Son,
Yeah, I love
dropped
him.
two songs with Charity. So
Okay.
I just love collabing people together
Mhm.
um, inside of Nikki's. So it was, he brought Millie to the table. I brought Charity, and they brought connections.
And shout
Great,
out to
great
Charity.
music. Shout out
Charity just got
Charity, shout
confirmed.
out
She's coming
Millie,
on.
shout out Fats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do good together in the studio. It's been good. It's been
Yeah.
good. I've been had a few, you know, different encounters, but me and Fats been good.
Yeah. I can't wait to Charity finally. She's finally coming on. I'm excited, in the next, I think 3 weeks, maybe 2 to 3.
Yeah, I had Charity on. Charity was good. I love Charity's vibe. I'm glad I had my studio was comfortable, so she just kind of just, hey girl, she had both of the pillows in her hand. She was doing it, but then she did a rap, I believe, and then she did me a promo video at the end. So I've been learning to do that too. If they, do me a quick promo video because I can use your video anytime. Tell people to watch Made for a Boss TV. Like you can tell them to tell people to watch your
Mhm.
show name. And
Yeah.
then you have all these little quick videos of people you can post all day,
Yeah.
anytime you want to, and have memories of them being on your show. So
Yeah.
Charity was one of the first people that did that for me, which is she was like, yeah. I was like, Charity. She used to perform in my friend Monique. Monique always comes out and do my VIP area. She'll be out for my 12th anniversary, feeding all my guests, having the VIP area. But may her son rest in peace. Before he passed, Charity used to be in her backyard with him singing and performing as a
Wow.
kid. So
Wow.
I brought them two back together.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you used to be at Miss Monique's house, and then I let them talk, and they've been rocking ever since, And I was like, dang, Charity, you've been singing a long time.
She has. I've met her, I think back in the days with shout out to Chaz, Tia Ferreira's brother, Chaz,
Yeah.
he was doing the little, events and stuff and, had, I think like a label or management company and stuff. I think I met Charity, all during that time, or it might have been with Miss King and stuff. So, but
Oh yeah,
I've been
yeah.
loving Charity for years and stuff. Every time we see each other, we just hug and stuff. But so every year you do your what is the name of the event? You just said it too. Nikki Dollar.
So I'm doing Nikki's Dollar Jewelry and More 15th anniversary. Oh,
15.
my mama's birthday, October 12th. Y'all be in the house, 2251 Foreign Road. So yeah, I do this every year for the past a long time.
And you know who I met at your events? I love them to, oh my goodness, I gotta get them on. The mother and her kids that rap and dance. Oh,
Yes, actually, I need to reach out to them because I did want them to show up to this event. I have Mr. Lewis, Boss Tootie, Rich Morales from the Crop Organization. I have Bear, uh, Billboard Bear, LJ Hippie, Deshaun Thornton, the Sacktown Majorettes, and I'm hoping a few special guests. And Zaria W will be hitting the stage too. And y'all know I got Drummer Cat out too.
all right.
Drummer Cat from 97.5. Y'all Drummer Cat. We
Yeah, you
love
would
us
come
some
up
Drummer
missing if
Cat.
you didn't have her. You would come up missing.
Man, Drummer Cat be looking like, what do you mean you're doing an event and you ain't called me? And
Right.
I'll be like, I can't do an event without Drummer Cat, man. She's the main part of the event. She's been supporting me for day one when I first had the little bitty shop for $300 that I was telling you about. She came up in there. She asked me to be
Wow.
on a radio station that her friend was doing out of his home, which I think he was a former NFL player. He's in a wheelchair. I
Mhm.
forget his name. But went over there and was on that. That was the first really radio station. It was his own little radio station that he would air. And
Mhm.
that was the first time somebody asked me, and she kind of just took me under her wing as being a big sister to me. She met my father before he passed away. She takes the time to understand and talk with me and be there too. So I love me some drummer Cat. Yes. But I'm gonna have Fats too. He hosting this year. So I usually have Big Old Measy. Big Old Measy. I hope he still show up. But I got Fats this year that's gonna host for me.
And if
This
somebody wants to be a vendor, how much is it?
So the vendor fee right now, I'm only charging $35 if you want to be a retail vendor. If you want to be a food vendor, it is $60 for a food vendor. If you want to be a food vendor, if you want to be a informational vendor, let's say if you want to just give the community information, if you want to donate to the community, say you have backpack, clothes, school supplies, things like that, you can come out and set up for free. I want those type of vendors to just come abundantly and share and give back to the community.
That's
And I
good.
want those people to come out for free. So definitely. And yeah, so we have an amazing lineup. We're also doing a small fashion show. We have three boutiques, which myself made for a boss in memory of my best friend. I got the made for a boss on in memory of my best friend Linda Beckhorn. Her Instagram is made for a boss 23 because she loved Air Jordans. And when she passed away young at 30, um, she I went and trademarked the brand and kept her memory alive
That's awesome.
with that made for a boss.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of fashion shows, let's just talk about that one with Stephanie. Okay. Y'all,
Oh yes.
man, if y'all, that was my first time ever going to a fashion show, right? I told
Uh-huh.
I told Stephanie, I said, girl, I'm so mad at you. She's like, what? I said, now I want to go to more fashion shows. You know, so
Well, she got them
you'll be,
coming. She got them coming. She's actually gonna be in mine.
yeah.
So Stephanie, with the Exquisite You Boutique, she has been in my last fashion show, which was last year. She was in the Made for a Boss fashion show,
Mm,
and then she started doing her own fashion shows. That girl got so much talent with throwing them fashion shows and putting everybody together and bringing the ladies out, the men out, the boutiques out, the cameraman, the stylist and just everything. So it was a great opportunity. I liked it. I liked it
yeah, you
that
did a great job. You being one of the designers coming out, that was awesome too,
Yeah, it was a great, and I'm the cameraman. Shout out to all the cameramans. I don't remember everybody's name, but they did an amazing job with the footage. Just being able to see that recap of me. I ain't no real model, so I didn't stop and pose on nothing. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. Stop, pose, so the cameraman can get you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was dancing, girl. I was a little nervous, and I was like, I'm gonna dance this nerve off.
Uh,
So, but it was amazing. They really my this year. So one of the models, she's a coordinator. She kind of helped me coordinate it at the end. So she's going to coordinate the whole show at Nikki's Dollar Jewelry in business, 15th anniversary in business, October 12th. She's going to coordinate. Shout out to um, Makila. Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Now, since you've done so much, I'm trying to think of everything. Now, let's talk about, the no politics, the cipher that you did. Is there going to be more ciphers coming?
Man, yes, I was just thinking of the ciphers. Matter of fact, I'm about to holler at Fats. We gonna see what we gonna put together. I already been invited back to the no politics to do whatever I want. Of course, that's my daughter's dad. Not playing. That's my ex-husband with the no politics. So we family. We always gonna support each other in whatever we do, and as long as it's positive and uplifting the community. So he offers the No Politic Clubhouse to me all the time, and I definitely want to bring that cipher back. That's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking about it real hard yesterday. Like
Well,
we got to get the cipher back.
it's funny that the first time I ever went to no politics was because of you, the cipher. because I remember
Yes,
I went,
yes.
I was over at the African marketplace for the I forgot the reparation thing. And then
Uh-huh,
I was
uh-huh.
like, I gotta go over to Nikki. I was like, I
Yeah,
gotta go over to Nikki's, right? And
yes.
and remember, I was there, and it is so funny. I was looking at this guy, and I was like, man, he looked familiar. And then later on, he came up to me. He was like, ain't you from Seaside? I said, oh my God, Keith.
Oh yeah, when you were at the No Politics and you ran into, that's how the
My
Sacramento and the
childhood
world
friend.
is small. Because we will run into some people. That's how you know you done been out there too. That a lot of people know you. You didn't pound the pavement because you can probably dang near go on a cruise somewhere and run into somebody you know.
No, it's crazy. I know, right? But me and Keith, we go back, I think junior high. I don't know if we
Oh wow.
I don't know if we went to elementary school. It might have been, I don't know if we went to elementary school together. I think it might have been junior high and maybe
Yeah,
high school.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, we're from Seaside. I was like, yeah, that was just crazy,
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
by me
Cool.
going to
Yeah,
your
yeah.
event, we reconnected and stuff.
Yes,
And then
yes, I
Kelly,
love that. Yep, yep.
Kelly and
The
stuff.
events really do connect people. I started giving the events because there was talent out there in the world that people didn't know about because I didn't know my daughter had talent, even though she ain't singing for her mama right now no more. But that's why I started these events because she was singing talent shows in sixth grade and winning them and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not the only parent out here that don't know about their child got talent.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people with talent that don't nobody know about. So I just start giving these events like that to just showcase the talent. And my first time was just setting up free hot dogs outside under a 10 by 10 by 10 tent and
Oh,
getting my microphone and asking anybody out there in the parking lot, do they want to sing?
yeah.
So it wasn't even no set up type of event. It just ended up being that way.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So now you have, help me say it, crop.
Yes, I got that out too. So, Crop Youth Initiative. Our youth is our future. Each one reach one, teach one. So, the Crop Youth Initiative is a 6 week workshop where we are empowering the youth to go after their vision, a clear, inspiring picture of their desired future. Stay away from distractions and out of the prison pipeline. So, our first class starts November 1st. It's on a Saturday from 11 to 3 p.m. We are looking for the youth to sign up now. We're looking for coaches. We're looking for donations to go towards giving these workshops. And it's 6 weeks because we will break down six of our curriculum. So our curriculum was inspired by the CROP organization in Oakland. They deal with the incarcerated and the formerly incarcerated. And they had a vision because they were formerly incarcerated. So they had a vision to come out and start this program with the same six curriculums, which my business partner, Bilal Rashid, I spoke about him earlier. He is incarcerated, but he is a coach inside and he teaches these six curriculums. He writes books. He does a lot of things. So we decided that we want to build a program that was similar to that crop program, inspired by them to teach that curriculum, but on a youth level. So we want to teach the youth while they are young, while their brains are like sponges. We want to teach them to go after their vision. You know, focus in on your vision. Your vision is a clear, inspiring picture, and then week two is current reality, figuring out where you currently are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because until you know that, you won't know which direction you need to go. Even if you're currently good at something, at least you can know what all you're good at. So then you can realize what you're not good at and then fix those so you can get into your vision, what is week three, what's wanted and what's needed. What's wanted is what do you want for yourself? What do you want for your vision? And once you realize that, then you need to realize what you need to get it. So you need to realize the steps you need to take to get to the vision that you want to live, which is an inspiring picture of your desired future. And then most importantly is week four is the freedom of forgiveness. Now that is it's very important for adults. But for our kids, it's detrimental. They need to learn how to forgive so they can move on with their their future, their vision. So once they learn that, they can stay away from distractions, and then they can go into week 5 is the power of promises. The power of promises is learning how to keep promises, even small promises, even to yourself, even to yourself, and then learn how to keep them so you can learn how to build your integrity. People will learn that you are a person that keeps your word. So we want to teach the youth that. And then the last week is Finishing Well workshop. Finishing Well is teaching the youth how to not just finish something, finish whatever you do with love, respect, and well. Finish it well. Because man, imagine if we didn't finish a lot of things well. Like if you didn't finish that closing on that house well, they would be back at your door trying to get at you about what you did wrong, and if I didn't do people's hair right or did it well, then they will be like, Nikki, you need to do this stuff again. So whatever you do in your life, you need to know how to do it well. So these are things that I feel like is important. And I feel like in our younger age, all really what was told to us, I had a young gentleman come into the store, said he was formerly incarcerated. He came in today and he said, I'm going to enroll my kids. He was a Mexican young guy. And he said, because I wish they had this program when I was younger, because he was talking about how he was in jail. He kept going back to jail. He kept gang banging and this, but nobody's telling them to do, no one, what did they tell us back in school? What do you want to be when you grow up? You didn't teach me how to be that.
Right, right. What are
You
the
know what I mean?
ages?
The streets taught our kids.
Yeah. What are the ages for the youth?
So the ages for the youth is all ages, but we put on the flyer 9 to 22 because under 9 needs to be accompanied by an adult, but
Okay.
all ages can come if you are with an adult. If
Mhm.
you're over 22, you can still come. You can be a part of the program. You can help like a assistant coach, volunteers.
Mhm.
Some of the parents are volunteering. We got some good feedback. I got almost 40 kids signed up. Some of the parents are coming to volunteer that day, so they'll be there with their children too and volunteer. And we're going to see how we get this first um, workshop off the ground. It's a 6-week pilot program, so we are proving that we can do this. That's what we're doing. And so, yeah,
What
we're
type of
going after
curriculum?
that's our vision right now. But our long term vision is to have vision centers not only in Sacramento but all over the world. I think big. So with that is just having a center like Crop does in Oakland, but for our youth and our young adult, which they have a center that provides trades where they can learn trades so they can be productive and be successful. So if we teach these youth trades along with the 6 curriculums, and then also have housing. They have housing, they give stipends, they get them prepared for a year. So if you're getting all this for free, your cell phones, your laptops, your all of this stuff, you're getting all this stuff for free. You know what I mean? You should be able to be successful. And if you're young, like 18, 17, really probably was in foster homes, didn't have nobody to care for you, don't have nowhere to go when you turn 18, it can be any type of situation. Maybe you can come over to the Crop Youth Initiative building and stay with us for a year and let us guide you. Let us teach you the 6 curriculums. Let us teach you a trade, which then I want to bring the whole community together to have different trades in this building. So that means a lot of these people that I know, I want to bring together to have this building with all the different trades in the building and then being able to teach the youth. And we, as all of us, have something that we can teach the youth. You too.
I was thinking the same thing. I wanted to remember I was saying I wanted to do the talent thing and stuff like that. Like, but I was speaking to what does he go by? The Forgotten One.
The
A
forgotten
the
one.
poet. He does poetry.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, he actually does the mentoring in Del Paso Heights.
Yes,
You know,
yes, the forgotten one. He's on the radio with DJ
yes,
Mungo.
yes,
Yes.
me and I still call Aaron, we know each other, right? And
Mhm.
we were just talking about this. I was like, hey, I want to do this and that. He said, but what is it? We need something to continue to do that.
Mhm.
Continuous, not just a
Mhm.
one-time event. you know,
Yeah, so yeah, that's why it's definitely gonna be a
I was
repeat.
like,
Like this 6 week workshop
yeah,
is definitely gonna be repeating for the rest of my life. That's how I feel about it. Because I can still run, Nikki, still do this crop. I can have crop can become successful. We can give the youth the jobs to run these other storefronts.
yeah,
You
and
know what I mean? And then all of the trades that we have, like I know media. So when we get through having these workshops, then the following week we're gonna have the kids do media. We're gonna teach the kids media because that is one of the things that's gonna be in our vision center. So we're gonna start now when we don't have a my shop is the vision center. And so we're gonna come there, we're gonna do media. We want the kids to talk about what they learned at the workshop. We want to engage with the kids. We got characters, we got books. Loudon wrote it minute by minute. For the first 15 minutes, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. For 10 minutes, we're going to be doing this. For 20 minutes, we're going to be doing meditation circles. We're going to be doing games like the Vision Jeopardy game and the Friendly Feud, where we're going to teach the youth how to work together as a team to finish and accomplish a goal. And so it's going to be prizes and snacks, and we're just going to be having fun while we teaching them how to go after their vision, have a vision.
and I got some, excuse me, and I got some, I did especially about teaching about hygiene and, stuff like that too, because I think that's just so important, some kids are not
Mm-hmm.
taught.
Well, that's a part on your vision. That's a part of what's wanted and what's needed. You
Yeah.
want a good job, but you smell bad. What you need to get the good job?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's the little stuff, even if it's go buy you some toothpaste, deodorant, some socks, and some new drawers,
Mhm.
it's still what you need. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that's a part of the what's wanted and what's needed.
Mhm.
When you figure out what you want, then you will figure out what you need. And if you need some deodorant, girl, we gonna help you.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? And stuff like that with
Yeah.
hygiene,
Yeah.
different
And that's,
like that.
yeah. Now, what kind of coaches are you looking for?
So we're looking for all kind of coaches, and this um workshop is for everyone.
Max
So we're
17, we
looking.
need you. Max 17 is watching. You want to?
Oh, okay. Hey, Mac. He always supporting. Shout out to Mac 17. He always supporting me. But yeah, so we are looking for all kind of people to jump on to be coaches. If you have passion, what I've been trying to find is the people that have passion when they ain't got no money. They just still trying to work in this community to help, because right now we're starting off with no budget. That's why we're doing fundraisers. That's why we're doing donations. That's why I'm doing just finished our nonprofit paperwork so we can go after these grants, work closely with some important people to help us achieve and get these grants. And so while we're doing that, we have to figure out other ways to accomplish getting the funds to do that. And so that's what we're doing right now.
So a question, are you trying to take it to like different locations in Sacramento or just like have one main location?
So eventually we do want to have our own location, but we'll see how the budget goes when we get our grants on how much will go towards getting a building or leasing somewhere or something like that. Right now we were grateful that we was able to get a sponsor to sponsor us the classrooms this time. So the locations may change
Mhm.
depending on the location. Definitely may change because we're looking for more sponsors. May want to start talking to the schools, talking to the community center, the MadeForABoss Community Center, talking to the just different programs, the orphanage program, the what do you want to say, like the juvenile halls, and trying to talk and reach out to as many places as possible because they may let us come there. So then we will be changing where we be at, you know what I mean, until we figure out a location of our own, which I do see that in the future, having our own building and having our own location to where we're possibly being open more than one day a week.
Max 17, she has the crop program. He's asking what type of coaches are we talking about, sports or life? The crop, you want to hold the thing up?
So
It's
Yeah, I'll hold the lead up. So the Crop Youth Initiative is a program where we are trying to teach the youth to have a vision, a clear, inspiring picture of their desired future. Help them stay away from distractions and out of the prison pipeline. So with that, we are teaching a 6-week powerful workshop. We need coaches that want to teach the youth how to coach and learn how to coach the crop way. We have curriculum, books, uh, just a lot of things. We have audio for you to listen to. You can be a part of our Telegram account where you can see things that we have posted and see the literature from the books that we'll be reading, from the workshops that we need to perform. Our coaches will. The kids will be split up with the coaches. So each coach may have about 10 kids, and a coach may have a coach and a coach's assistant with them. But it's a 4-hour workshop. We want you to help um, coach our youth. It's all built around vision. So we're going to do vision the first week, current reality, what's wanted and what's needed, the freedom of forgiveness, the power of promises, and finishing well. So it's a workshop of just trying to get them to think about what they want for their future. So we're looking for you to sign your kids up today. You can contact me at 916-745-9598. We have the sign up forms. We're doing meet and greet the coaches and the youth at my 15th anniversary in business. Okay, we're gonna be in the parking lot. I do this every year. I try to give back to the community. You guys have kept me open over the years, so I want you to come out and celebrate with me.
And
Okay,
that's
and
from
come out
11,
this day.
11 to 6.
It's
What?
at noon to 6 p.m. We'll be out there early though. If you get there at 11, it's fine because we're gonna be out there at 9 a.m. setting up. So that's how it's going, and we will be out there on my mother's birthday. So I'm celebrating her life. She has I have a nonprofit in her name, which will have a booth out collecting donations. It's the Evelyn Quinn Community Resource Foundation, where we're helping families bury their loved ones, and we're giving back to the community with food, coats, school supplies. So if you want to help us help a family that's in need, come out and support the Evelyn Quinn Community Resource Foundation. My sister, which is her other daughter, will be running that booth. And then we have Uncle Johnny and some other coaches that are going to be at the Crop Youth Initiative booth. LJ, Marvell, and things like that are going to be at the Crop Youth Initiative booth. We're taking donations at that booth too. You can drop off things like school supplies, scissors, notebooks, whiteboard, chalkboards, color crayons, yoga mats. We need yoga mats. We need more. We only got about 15, but we probably need about 20 or 30 more. So we just want you guys to come out and support. Come out 2251 Florin Road in the parking lot, you guys. We're going to be in the parking lot all day on October 12th.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. On October 12th, y'all, October 12th. I just got, man, just
It's on
listening
a
to you.
Sunday this year.
Yeah, hopefully it's sunny.
You know what? I looked it up and they better be telling the truth because it is supposed to be like 83 and sunny.
Uh,
So I've been, I wonder how they even know that stuff, but
yeah,
yeah.
they don't. Anybody could be the weather person. Now, how can someone be a guest on Made for Boss podcast?
If
What's
you
it
would
take?
like to be on Made for Boss TV inside of the Boss Work Media Studio, holla at your girl Nikki, the influencer, at 916-745-9598. Or you can reach out to me to the Boss Work Media Studio, bossworkmediastudio@gmail.com. But you can always hit me on my number. Once again, it's 916-745-9598. My Facebook is Nikki Potter. Potter. Nikki Potter on Facebook. So you can holler at me there if you would like to be a guest, a sponsor. If you would like me to, if you would like to rent out the studio, I rent out the studio. I engineer the show for you. I do a lot of things inside of Nikki's.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Now,
I do
when,
your hair.
yes. So when is Nikki's open? That's my next question to shop.
Okay, so I'm open whenever I want. Not playing. No, but okay, so that's how I feel like sometimes when
I
you
know.
buy yourself in this
Right.
business. Sometimes you gotta just leave. Sometimes you just went to the restroom. That's it. But you ain't got nobody to be in there.
I
How
know.
you gonna do that?
Yeah.
So I gotta close. So, but I will be back open. So I'm closed Sunday and Mondays. That may change with the Crop Youth Initiative. But right now, my hours is closed Sunday and Monday. I'm open Tuesday through Saturday. So Tuesday I open up at noon to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Wednesday I'm 11 to 6 p.m. Thursday I'm 11 to 6 p.m. Friday I'm 10 a.m. to 1:30.
Mm.
So that's my Fridays. Saturdays, I am open right now, Saturdays from like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Saturday, closed Sunday and Monday. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking for some help inside of Nikki's because we're starting the Crop Youth Initiative. I'll be running that workshop. That is where my focus is gonna be at. Too, Nikki's is gonna be there, but I need some help, y'all. So I'm gonna be looking for somebody to work Nikki's on Saturdays during those hours. But I also might be open on Sundays in the future. If I'm closed on Saturday, I'll be open on Sunday. So I'm working the kinks out with that.
Okay. Wow, y'all. Okay. My sis. Okay. Let's see if I can remember. You guys, October what? When's the event?
It's October 12th. There we
October
go.
12th. Write
It's
it
my mom's
down.
birthday. It's my 15th year in business.
October 12th, and then get with her about the crop. If you guys, we got to really make these kids is so different nowadays. It's very, very different what's going on in this world. If you guys can be coaches or whatever, just support, bring your kids, boys and girls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the way up to 22, you know.
Yes, you older than 22, please come because while we're coaching the youth on how to have a vision and helping the youth, we are definitely going to be helping ourselves.
Yeah, most definitely. Ciphers coming again in the future,
Got
right?
to get bars up. Y'all ready to be on the Made for a Boss cipher?
Max 17. Look,
Hey, hey,
I expect to
hey.
see you. I bet to see. I expect to see you at
Yes,
the next cipher.
yes, yes, yes. And come out to my 15th anniversary. Ella J gonna be on the stage performing.
Okay. Yes. Yes. We most definitely get. Yeah, and I haven't seen him in a while. So yeah, we probably gonna run into each other. And I really want and make sure you introduce me to what's the name, Billboard Bear.
Oh, Billboard
I don't
Bear.
think I
So
ever met
he
him.
yes, he's very a good artist. That's how he made his name from. He was built on the billboards. So that is my business partner as well. That's his younger brother.
Yeah, that's what you were
Yeah.
saying, but I don't think I've ever, met him. I gotta go back and look at your interview to get to know him. Is there
Yeah.
anything else about Nikki that we don't know?
Uh, I've been doing a little poetry.
What?
If you guys
Oh,
been
wait a minute,
hearing
you
me a
really
little bit on that.
have.
Yeah, I've been doing a little poetry. I just been trying to be at peace too. You know what I mean? And
How do you balance life doing all this? Number one, when do you sleep? And how do you balance life?
I sleep. I just wake up and advertise in the middle of the night sometimes, but it just keeps me balanced when I'm moving around. Like I said, I'm not scared to admit it. I deal with depression. I deal with anxiety. It took a long time for me to even try to even to begin to understand what those things were. You know what I mean? And so a lot of that it does keep me moving in a lot of directions because I don't have time to think and be sad, be depressed, have anxiety because I got 100 things to do. Let's get to it. I mean, like,
Now,
so I just need
I was gonna say,
going.
refresh my memory. Does your kids have kids or no?
My son does, so I'm a grandma. Yes, indeed, I'm a
Yeah,
grandma.
see, look,
Yes, and my oldest granddaughter, man, my oldest granddaughter, she is in college. She's playing basketball. We just took her to college. Man, it's amazing. So I got her. I have Larissa. She's just graduated grant too.
my
So
goodness.
my son has these kids, and then I also have my newest grandson, Q3. Yes, he out there in Vegas. That's my newest grandson. So my son started all over. He got 18-year-olds, and then now he got 8-month-year-old.
Sounds like
So
somebody
yeah,
I know.
and my daughter, no, she just working in the medical field, and
Mm,
yeah, people that know Nikki, they watch Nene grow up with me too.
man, y'all see, man, look how she balances everything. Businesses, being a grand, and I always see you spend time with your family and stuff too. And
Yeah, I like to. I'm coming short. I gotta go see Tiffany. Haven't seen her in a while, so I've been feeling kind of like that. But yeah, I try to stay in tune with my family, as much as I can, as
man,
much as I can, as much as they want to be.
wow, wow, I could go hours with you, sis, but I know what.
Yeah, you gotta get off here.
Yeah, it's got, you got
I
to.
gotta have you on. I got you on my calendar. But yeah, we
I
gotta have you.
know, right? I know
We
Fat
gotta,
said the same thing. He was like, "We gotta get you back. We gotta get you back on." I don't think I did an
yeah.
interview when he was there, so that'd
Yeah,
be
you
kind
gotta
of
get
different.
we gotta get you on because now it's a different time. It's a different show. It's different. I got facts. You know what I mean? You've been doing other stuff. We need you
You know,
back on. We got new viewers now. We need people to hear you.
I work down the street, like off of where I work off of Florin and 65th. So get
Okay.
off at
Okay.
4:30. I could just shoot straight to you whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah, yeah. We just gotta look at the calendars with
Yeah,
so we
most
see what
definitely.
Monday is good. We got y'all tune in, Made for a Boss TV. Monday we got Marvelous in the house.
Oh, okay, Monday. Okay.
Yep, Monday at 7.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm gonna I was gonna pull up on it, but Aaron called me. So, he's got the event next Thursday. So he
Mm-hmm.
wants to jump on and talk about the event and stuff. So I think I'll be interviewing him on Monday. Hopefully I can get his brother Chris and a sister. I would love to get all three siblings.
Okay.
And Chris Jones and all them. I would love to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's all I really love and stuff. And I really
Give
want
me
to do a
one.
show together with you and Fats whenever he gets available, and stuff. And just I like doing shows where it's collaborative and people can really hear how people work together and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
anyhow,
Definitely. Well, thanks for having me.
yes, yes, yes. And I will see you in well, if not before for an interview, but I will see you at the 15. Some of y'all,
Unless you're coming out Saturday for a little bit to our re-grand opening at Florence Square. Now we had like a minor flyer, and then the fire department came and put out the fire, but they kind of flooded the building, and about 40 businesses got affected at Florence Square. So we were closed down for close to 2 months.
yeah, yeah,
So this Saturday we're having a re-grand opening
yeah.
and a fashion show that I've been involved with. So I'm gonna be one of the boutiques inside of the building that will be having a fashion show around 1 p.m. The fashion show starts.
Okay.
And then I'm also doing some poetry. I'm gonna do my poetry. So my poetry is gonna be first about 2, and then I'll be on my fashion show comes on at 3.
Okay. So what time should I get there?
Tomorrow, I mean it's Saturday. Y'all come down to Florence Square, 2251 Florence Road.
What time does it start?
It's an all day event, so they're gonna be there from like noon to 6 p.m.
Okay, I'll probably get there maybe around 1 o'clock. Cause
Yeah, come on in about that time. It'll be a good time to come in at that time.
yeah, because I want to support both of things that you're doing and stuff, and walk around and everything. So,
Okay, cool. Will be
you
great to
guys,
have you. Thanks again.
one more time, shout out your handles.
All right, so we are on Made for Boss TV on YouTube. That's all one word, Made for Boss TV. Instagram is Nikki's Dollar Jewelry. It's also the Crop Youth Initiative. It's also Nikki's underscore braids with a Z. Then you can find me on Facebook, Nikki Potter and Nikki Dollar Jewelry and more, and Made Boss.
And
Two
that's
separate words.
Nikki.
MadeBoss.
I don't
Peace
know
out.
how she keeps up with all them accounts, but my sister does. And you heard her say she don't have no help. So,
Man, it'd be
and you know
hard
what?
to
Let me
keep.
just say this. Do not contact her if you are not gonna be serious, you ain't gonna show up for work, you ain't serious about like being, you know, helping with the organization.
That's
And
the hardest
not,
thing, especially with these cell phones. They ain't helping because they got the cell phone in their hand the whole time. They trying to hang up jewelry and type texts. I'm like, I'm paying you by the hour and you done hung 10 pieces of jewelry up in the hour.
yeah.
Make that make sense.
But some
So I
people
can't.
connect to try to still connects. You know what I mean? So just come with the
Oh
gym.
yeah, definitely. I done been down that journey.
Yeah,
And I think we all have, you know what I mean? But
just come wanting to help because the kids are our future. I was listening real quick, then I'm gonna end it. I was listening to Tony Robbins this morning, and in the mornings when I'm driving to work, I listen to something positive, like Stormy Wellington and Tony Robbins or ET, right? Tony Robinson said what you focus on is what life brings, you know. So I'm gonna end with that. What you focus on is what life brings. And sis, you focus on so much. Life is bringing you so much, and I'm so blessed to know you. All right.
thank you. Likewise.
All
You have
right.
a great evening.
All right. Bye, Max 17, and whoever else is watching.
All right. Peace out, you guys.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.